Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be looking at a message exposing Lucy. But does it all connect? And did Jay get involved with illegal substances or a stolen watch? Also, we have a release date for the Jay Slater podcast. And Mark Williams Thomas tells us that he thinks his information needs to be looked at by the police. The first thing that we are going to look at is a clip from a podcast which is run by two people who are called Joey and Josh. So shout out to them because they have been speaking about the Jay Slater case recently. So let's take a look at what they had to say.
I was told on good source at the time that them Snapchats about apparently stealing a watch and the rumour that Jay had apparently stolen a watch on the night was true. The inquest has heard that both a WhatsApp message and a Snapchat message were sent, and it was sent in to a WhatsApp group chat of friends and family. That said that he had just took an AP off a Mali kid, which you would assume means a Somalian. So I've got a theory that this watch that Jay had taken, whether it was an AP, whether it was a Rolex, I'll tell you what it was fucking fake. Let's say it was a real watch off of someone that was enjoying a nice holiday. What would that person go and do straight away?
Go straight to the police.
Go straight to the police.
Unless they're also involved in the crime world. It could be someone using Jay's phone and sending a message to someone.
Well, Debbie Duncan did an interview and she said that upon receiving the message, she didn't even know if it was Jay. It could have been someone using his phone. When you're using language like that, it suggests that you believe that that could be the case. And a mother's instinct in a case like this is actually worth more to me than what the police dealing with the investigation are thinking, because she knows the background of the person saying things like, oh, you know, he might have got himself in a bad situation, but he's not a bad person and whatever. That heavily suggests to me that you think your son has done something wrong on that night. I don't think that that is deniable, and I also think that that is highlighted by the fact that she wanted the mates in court because she wants to know exactly what had happened that night. But I do agree with you that there's a small possibility that that message could have been sent by someone else and it could have been laying the groundworks for a narrative around Jay's.
So first of all, Joey says that he got told by a good source at the time that Jay did steal a watch and the Snapchats were all true. But who was this source? Could it be Ayub or Rocky? Because they could just be feeding people lies? Or was it someone who actually knows the truth? Because a good source means that normally it's someone who's involved in the case. And I believe Ayub and Rocky are the only ones who would get in contact to give their side of the story. Jay's friends didn't really speak much and disappeared, while Ayub and Rocky controlled the TikTok lives with their story. Something that I agree with is where Joey says that he would believe Debbie's opinion over what the police are saying, because she knows her son the best. And that's true, but finding out exactly what Jay was up to in Tenerife is becoming a task, and it's between the watch and the bank transfers, which link to illegal substances being sold. There is definitely a possibility that the messages were sent by someone else, because we don't see Jay's face in any of the videos at the Airbnb, and we don't hear him speaking, except from when Ayub gave us his video that cleared his name, which again didn't show Jay's face, just him speaking, and this could have been audio that was put with the video. What we are going to look at next could reveal some dark secrets for Lucy and edge us towards the bank transfers and illegal substances being the reason Jay ended up in the position he did. So what we have here is another post that was made stating that Lucy and her friend Mia were involved in selling illegal substances and tried to get other people involved. And this was back in the summer of 2023. So this is one of many posts that said Lucy was selling, but where did this rumor start? Because I have a feeling it could be from someone who is very close to home, or maybe it could be from someone who has actually experienced a situations in Tenerife where they saw that Lucy was physically selling illegal substances herself. But the main thing that brought this whole story back was the bank payments, or transfers, as it was reported differently. But anyway, that confirmed Jay tried to spend 320 euros, then 160 euros straight after. But what was interesting is Little Miss Vodka's video, where someone proved they had sent money to Jay on the 15th of June, I believe, and the money was for Lucy. But what was this money for? You might ask? Well, I bet you could never guess that it was actually for illegal substances, because Lucy allegedly likes to deal with bank transfers rather than cash for some reason. But going back to the message, let's try and work out if it can have any truth to it, because if we look at Lucy's Facebook, you can see that she was in Tenerife on the 9th of July and on the 14th and 15th of July. So technically Lucy was in Tenerife in 2023, and it was around the summer time, which matches the message. But what I find really strange is where Lucy also was on the 14th of July, as well as being in Tenerife. So it says here that Lucy was in Hungary, Tunisia, and Tenerife, all on the same day. Honestly, guys, how is this possible? Does she have teleporting superpowers or something? I feel like there is something very weird going on with Lucy's traveling situation, and it could link to what she does for a job, which allows her to be able to pay for all these holidays and not work half the time. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this, because Lucy can't be in all of those places at once. So is she using Facebook as a cover? The last thing that we are going to look at in today's video is the latest update from Mark Williams Thomas, which includes a release date for the podcast and some suspicious information.
The podcast for Jay Slater. That is almost finished, and it will be a two-part podcast, and the first podcast will land this Thursday and part 2 on Friday. There will be some coverage, and we are just in negotiations at the moment of how we're going to release that, and it is got some great material, but it's crucially, and why it's being done is it's really important for the full facts to be out there and for the information that has never been out there to be looked at properly by the police. That's why we're doing it, because I consider it's really important. There's information in there that should be looked at by the police. So Episode 1 is dropping on Thursday, Episode 2 on Friday. Keep an eye out, watch the media, newspapers, and you'll see all the details coming up. And there'll be more information on this page about how you get to watch that very shortly. Whatever you're doing, look after yourself and have a good day.
So we can expect all of Mark's information this Thursday and Friday, which we will be breaking down if there's anything that is interesting. But what left me puzzled is when Mark says that there is information in the podcast that he thinks needs to be looked at by the police. But wasn't Mark saying that no foul play was involved, and 3 days into his investigation, he knew all the answers, which he never told us at the time, by the way. He just created more controversy by saying he had important information and didn't release it until now. So what information needs to be looked at? Because I thought the police had all the answers, and Mark was saying there's no foul play as well. So why do the police need to look at his information? Even though Mark isn't the best person to be listening to, if this information is important, and if this does make the police think about investigating this case properly, then it's not bad news at all. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will update you as we find out more.